Hello,
What up? What up?
welcome back to the Fine Print Podcast.
Glad to be back. Thank you so much. Oh, is
I'm
that
your
for the
host,
audience?
Zubair.
Oh, I'm Sani, co-host.
Okay, do you wanna do
Cue
the
the
honors?
jingle. Man, I missed the jingle.
Yeah,
I need to make it my ringtone.
actually, we can't do that. But I don't have a ringtone, so it can't work.
Oh, your phone's always on silent.
Wait, I let's do it. Well, I haven't heard my phone ring in years.
I haven't heard my phone ring in what feels like years because I did a dumb thing. I went and I was looking for a loan for a Swift ride, and I put my personal line,
And the
and
years probably.
now they're spamming me with calls. I have about 32 missed calls a day since June. I was
Shit.
counting. Every day I'll have about 30. It has reduced now to like maybe 15. Yeah, 15 on a bad day, maybe 5, 6 on a good day. But they
Imagine
leave
how many times your number has
voicemails
been
and
stolen
everything. Huh?
over and over again.
Yeah, they just different people calling, trying to offer me a loan, different interest rates. And I'm like, no, I mean, I'm not interested anymore. And they're
So
like, but
I don't know
why?
if I'll say you guys are lucky in the US with how everybody seems to be willing to just give you money.
They're
Yeah,
willing to just indebt you. Any chance you see, they offering you
take it.
something. Yeah, just take it, please. So but in our case, it's a bit difficult because they offer it to us until they start digging into what we do and who we are, and then they're like, "Oh, we don't want you anymore," or "Oh, the least we can, or the most we can offer is like $10,000." And I'm like, "We don't need 10,000. We need 110,000. We need 150." They're
So
like,
it's
"Oh, but
subject to a
you
risk
know."
profile or your sector.
Yeah, so both actually. So our sector is very niche. They don't have enough data on it. Probably we're one of 10 companies to have ever done what we're doing. So they don't have any repayment history on that. And um, us as well. Most of my co-founders are, including myself, we have very weird immigration status, so um for well, I wouldn't call any names, but let's say my
Almost too
co-founder
late.
Sam.
Almost too late.
Yeah,
Oh no, you can't
almost.
say
Let's
Sam.
say my
Sam is fine.
co-founder Sam,
Sam
he's
is
on a visa.
fine. Now I have to think of a new one.
No, you can say another Sam. My
Well,
co-founder
actually,
Sam is basically an immigrant. He has E2 visa, and myself, I have a temp green card, so it's pretty shaky.
hmm,
Oh God, 1 second, I'm just getting a call. Uh, is there a way to pause this?
nope.
Oops.
Wait, wait,
Okay,
wait.
just give me 1 second. I am just getting. So I guess this can be part of the podcast. Just
Experience.
Yeah, I just dropped my wife off at the airport, and she's gone to Florida for vacation. So she's already spamming me with calls that she needs to put a credit card down for the hotel. So I'm like, okay, give me 1 second. It's probably at the front desk, like, oh my God. Uh,
Yeah.
Kapow! Zubair did some director's magic right there.
Yeah, I think everybody would have noticed that we eventually found the pause button.
Yeah, we found the pause button, we sorted out Madame, and yeah,
What were
can
we
you
talking about before the pause?
the loans and how loans are
Oh
trying
yeah,
to,
yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah, the immigration profile is a big key. So that's why I've been actively trying to get my green card sorted, so I can take more government loans and things like that. So right now,
Naturally.
yeah, right now the only loans that are being offered are like shark loans, or actually Stripe offers really really great loans.
What rate
Huh?
was the rate?
That's the nice thing about Stripe. Their loans, I think, are kind of halal because they don't have interest. They have an upfront fixed fee that you pay. So if you want, so we recently had like a $55,000 loan that we took from Stripe. They said, okay, the admin fee is 4K. So you take 55, but you're gonna pay 59. So you pay that fee upfront, and then you take that loan. So
That's
and
it.
then they don't charge you interest. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is what I need,
Actually,
you
that's as close to halal as it gets.
as it gets. Yeah. So we've
Interesting.
been grabbing Stripe loans, and the good thing about Stripe is as you make more sales, they see your data and the volume and what, and they're like, all right. So the first
Take
Stripe
more.
loan we had was like 20, and then we thought it would go maybe to 30, but then they doubled it more, they more than doubled it to like 50 something. So right now we're thinking, okay, if we take all our cash reserves and pay off that loan, will they double it again? But
Yeah.
that's the risky part. What if they don't? Now we've
Why
just
don't
paid off
you
the
ask
loan.
them?
I tried, barely able to reach out to them, and they're like, "Oh, we evaluate you on a daily basis. We can't know that information." So
Fair
I'm like,
enough.
"Okay, yeah,
Well, so we'll come back to the fact that you took my Sam alias,
it's
and
okay.
yeah. So I think now we're just going to have multiple Sams,
We'll
and
just have
I
multiple
just
sounds."
yeah. So add them so that you have Sam Swift Ride or Sam
Hmm.
Swift Ride One, and then I
Okay,
can have as many Sams
they're
or
down
two.
like variable names.
Yes, yes. So actually um when we were on the little break interlude,
Hmm.
we remembered that Matcha Street is on today, and
Oh yeah.
we reached out to Adam, and he's he's agreed to come on to show us the store, how it turned out, and
And
what's going
how
on.
dreaming. What did he say that was a really famous line? He said,
Uh, uh,
"Dreaming hard doesn't necessarily mean you dream long," or something like that.
no, I think
Or to think hard
no, to
doesn't mean
dream.
you.
No, dreaming is when you're sleeping. Or
So that's
when you're
the
dreaming.
other one. That's the
That
other
was
one.
the
But
one
there
that
was
caught
another
me. That
one.
was the one that caught me.
That one was good, yeah. But this one, I remember there was a lot of comments about it. Was thinking too hard doesn't necessarily mean you need to think too long, or something like
Yes,
that.
yes, yes. But actually, you know what? I'll bring him back, and then you get to ask him again.
Yes, let's do that. And we can also see his store. I heard it looks very nice. And
All right,
I
let's
think,
do that.
ah,
Hello, guys. How you guys doing?
Mr. Matcha himself.
How is everything going?
Alhamdulillah. Why aren't you wearing green instead of white?
Well,
Actually, yeah.
I had to spend the night in London because we were working late last night. We had a second pop-up that we were attending in Charing Cross, and that finished pretty late. So I decided to stay the night in London and then do a little bit of impromptu shopping.
How's it
Nice.
going?
It's going well, thank you. While I was backstage, I was hearing about the quotes. Let's settle it. I'm a man of many quotes. Yes, one of them was, if you are.
He didn't tell me he could hear us backstage.
I
You
could
came
hear.
out swinging.
No wonder the head has been swelling a bit.
So, but yeah, I heard yes, if you should save that for when you're sleeping. But
Yeah,
if you're
yes,
dreaming while you're awake, you're simply hallucinating.
Oh,
That was,
yes, that's
that,
that's one for me.
that's
That's a banger.
yes, sir.
Yes, yes, it
Yes,
is.
sir.
Yes, it
How's
is.
it going with you guys? How's the show going?
Good. We're super excited to see your store. Can you show us around? Show us
Yeah.
what a quick dream and a lot of elbow grease can do.
Absolutely. So I'll show you from the outside.
Keep in mind, Adam pulled this together in like what, 2 weeks?
Yep.
This is the exterior.
I feel like I've been to this store.
Exterior. This is a low traffic time. So we're currently just working. I'm just doing some work on the laptop. Vanessa is just exploring with some uh, melted chocolate matcha viral drink. So we're trying to see what kind of content we can create with that. We've got the nice Matcha Street logo. We've got some lemonade, just refreshments. These are just our equipment for our ingredients for customized stuff. We've got some cookies, plants. We've got hot drinks cups. I'll take you behind. We've got our little operation station, just all our equipment. Got some ice cream machines. Can we have a look at what she's making? Let's have a look. So this is melted chocolate, white chocolate on the
Oh,
stove. We've got some ice drinks, the menu.
dang. Everything came together so fast. It looks like a proper matcha store.
It is a proper matcha
It
store.
is a
It
proper
is a
matcha
proper
store. Yeah,
matcha store.
that's it.
It is a proper matcha store. But yes, this is what happens when you turn your dreams into action.
So tell us a bit about how the traffic has been, and is it aligning with what you projected or what you kind of envisioned?
Well, I think you guys know me. I can be very, very straightforward and honest with you. I'm actually looking at the details right now. Well, I think based off of the first day, we had a very strong starting. It wasn't what I expected. I expected more because I'm very ambitious, but that only means that over the next 15 days that we're going to be live, we need to make use of the engagement we're getting on social media. We've had about 15,000 organic impressions on the account in the last few days. I don't know how many to be specific. 97% of the people who view our content are not followers. So, these are just statistics that we know that is very useful and then we can use to improve what we're doing. In terms of like numbers, yesterday I think we made over 50 sales, I believe it was 69 if I'm not mistaken. But, with each order varying and people now knowing about the brand, starting to following the journey. They pop in and out. We're in a quite central location, so it's easy for a lot of people to find us. We're collaborating with an art exhibition. We're at theirs, we're selling there, we're selling here. So the target actually initially was 71 cups a day. But we're right under that. I think it was just a little bit of fine tuning and a bit of gingering and working. We will be able to achieve that. Initially, it was just to be selling drinks. Now we've expanded our category, as you can see. Our barista Vanessa, she's mixing things around now just to explore, see how we can cater to other people and their different needs and cravings. We've got quite a few things. We've got pancake matcha, we've got ice cream, we've got drinks, we've got cookies, we've got croissants, we've got pastries, we've got cakes, we've got all sorts of things. So yes, all in all, it's not we're slightly under the target, but we have quite some time to pull in and then overachieve.
Nice.
Okay.
You've got a chance to invent your own drink, you know.
Yes. Yes. I made a
And
lemonade. It's finished now, but I made a strawberry lemonade today. Has nothing to do with matcha.
well, I'm pretty sure there's strawberry lemonades around, but maybe you'll invent a special matcha drink. That pancake matcha does sound like an idea.
Yeah. And so in terms of the collaborations in the first couple of days, how smoothly has that integrated into what you're trying to achieve?
Great question. So we've actually reserved the first few days, not first few days, first 7 days to be specific, on not collaborating, just so that we can. Sorry, let me turn down the music a little bit. It's disturbing me, so that we can focus on crafting because we're very much learning on the job. So we want to focus on developing our own skills, making sure that we're doing things with a certain operations, most efficiency that we can, and then we want to bring other people that are actually contractually tied to us, so we will be able to provide them a spectacular service without being without compromising on our agreements. In terms of they're paying us fees and things like that, we've got customers. I will be running, but I wish you all the best, and we'll speak soon.
All
All
right,
right.
Adam.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's a
Always,
very
I've always
inspiring
wanted.
guy.
Remember when we were thinking about what to do with the podcast, and I wanted to have a setup for phonings.
A setup of what? Oh,
For
phone-ins.
phoning, no phonings.
Oh, phone-ins.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember,
I,
and you were talking about the phone-in machine and all of that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, having
Hmm.
a deck that we can
Yeah.
put live calls through. I
Hmm.
mean, it is would we just got a proof of concept of that, and I like
Yeah.
it.
I mean, all that's left is for us to be on the radio, and people can actually phone in.
Yeah, my feed before I went on my social media cleanse. I take one of those every 3 months. Just delete everything. Only
Hmm.
YouTube. I keep only YouTube, and that's because I can't do without it.
Yeah. I've been on
Uh,
that cleanse for the past 9 months now. I deleted
yeah,
everything
yeah. So
all
I
on
just did
YouTube.
last week, but before I went, everything, all my timeline was littered with these prank call shows. Do you know
Is
them?
it the ones that they call the Indian scammers and
Yeah, yeah, no, and just random people. So
hmm
you email them and tell them that you want them to prank this person, and then you give them all the background information.
hmm
It's brilliant. People lose their shit.
yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, we
I
can
think
have
the
something
famous
like
one
that.
is the OG pranks. I think the one that does all the voices, especially the Vietnamese voice. Have you
No, I
seen
don't
that
think
one?
I've come across that one.
Oh my God, that is the OGest of OG phone pranks. Like the guy is so good with doing all the voices. So he would like change up his voice, and he'd be a Vietnamese guy and an Indian guy and whatever, and you would drive everyone nuts. But yeah, how are
So,
you coping with the ever increasing workload of a multiple entity CEO? Have you
you
found the
know,
PA yet?
that is actually what I wanted to arrive at today,
Mhm.
because so the whole of last week, actually, after reading Richard Branson's book, I started thinking about, because I've always thought that I was doing something wrong, or something was wrong with the way I approach business, and that's why maybe I haven't broken the ceiling doing too many things. So traditionally, you have to focus on one thing. and just
Mhm.
go after it for 50, 60 years and build it up. While, and then I read Richard Branson's book, and all of a sudden, it doesn't sound crazy what I'm doing because, I
Mhm.
mean, he is a testament of it working. And then I picked up Beyond Entrepreneurship, another book, and but then that book seems to be full of contradictions.
Mhm.
Well, to be fair, it didn't say focus on one thing, but you should have a maximum of three things you want to prioritize that you're going after, which makes
Mhm.
sense to me. I can kind of squeeze myself into three and let it be. And then it got me thinking a lot about purpose and about vision and mission for all the businesses. And so he's a social scientist that has followed businesses for the past 4 decades, 5 decades. And what he kept reminding people in the book is that we have the benefit of hindsight now. So his specialty or his research area is the psychology of what makes great companies, great enterprises great.
Mhm.
That's it. So he follows entrepreneurs and their businesses. And also the question that entrepreneurs cannot lead the organizations they built. So he gave an instance with the Steve Jobs and Apple first round,
Mhm.
where he built the company, but then the board decided, all right, so now we've come to the stage where you have to step down because we need a more experienced CEO. So founders cannot be CEOs. And then the data doesn't support that argument. It's just something that what's this um, levels of belief or something. You have hypotheses, you have notions, and so it's just a notion that people
Mhm.
have taken as fact.
The scientific method, I think.
Yes, yes, yes. So it's
Mhm.
just a notion not backed
Mhm.
up by anything that people have taken as fact. So what I'm struggling with is, or actually, not a struggle because Beyond Entrepreneurship answered a lot of my questions. And I realized that all I need to do is just to arrange my thoughts, and there isn't one right way of doing anything. I
Mhm.
don't know, I've spoken so much, I've lost the train.
I mean, funny you mentioned that. So we recently joined Atlanta Tech Village. Finally, we are villagers, and very amazing
Congratulations.
ecosystem. Thank you so much. And one of the mentors there was posting on the Slack channel, and he was like, his whole philosophy is he helps you find another CEO that's going to lead your company. And he's like, oh, in his experience and his data, whatever, founders can't be CEOs. Exactly what you said, and he's had the same thing. He was like, yeah, my company was failing until like I got another CEO, and then he like led it and yada yada yada. And I'm like, I mean, doesn't that just mean like, I don't know, maybe that wasn't your strongest suit? I mean, I get all founders, maybe you get an idea and yeah, you envisioned the idea and everything, but I guess it does take uh, a specific skill set to be able to lead an organization past a certain level. Maybe once you're in series A or something, there's so many moving parts and so many things that of course a more experienced CEO already knows how to do, but I don't think that should be taken away from founders because that's what they are in for, right? They want to
Yeah.
start their company, they want to manage all these people, and they want to
And
do all
that
these things.
thing
Hmm.
almost killed Apple.
Yeah, I mean they had to bring him back.
After he left, everything, because you remember when he came back because nobody wanted to buy Apple.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to sell it, but nobody wanted to buy it. And then he came back from his company Next because Apple wanted to buy the operating system he had developed at the new company he started, Next.
Mm-hmm.
So part of the deal was he would bring the operating system, but he would come back and take back control of Apple. And that was how he came back and saved the company.
Yeah, I was reading Ryan Holiday's book Ego is the Enemy, and he actually references this. And from his analysis, he broke it down that basically, if Steve Jobs didn't leave Apple, he wouldn't have matured into what he needed to be to lead Apple again.
Yeah.
So
Actually,
everything,
yes.
I guess,
The,
was
the
done
guy
for
the
him.
guy did mention in Beyond Entrepreneurship that he had to grow into the leader he was because at early Apple days he used to be very temperamental
Mm-hmm.
and short fused. If he didn't see things his way, he would just go through you literally. And then he came back and he was very people centric, all about getting the right people, working on Apple University because he wanted to attract the best people for outside the box thinkers, just people that would solve problems.
Yeah,
So yeah, you have to
when
grow
he,
into
I think he met Johnny Ive.
You're right.
Who was the better Steve Jobs, Michael Fassbender or Ashton Kutcher?
I haven't watched both.
You haven't watched both movies? Wow. Well, I recommend you
I'm not a-
definitely start with the Ashton Kutcher one. It was
What's the name?
actually, I think it's just Steve Jobs, but Ashton Kutcher is incredibly. They made him look.
Actually, it's called Jobs.
It's just called Jobs, right?
Yeah.
He looks very, very close to Steve Jobs. Like there are photos of him side by side, and once I guess they did the hair and the stuff for him, he looks very, very similar to him.
Okay,
But
I'll give it a shot.
the Michael Fassbender version of Steve Jobs was kind of weird. The Ashton Kutcher one was just a step-by-step story. Oh, this we're in college, oh, we met Wozniak, and we kept on going, and all the way to the end. But the Michael Fassbender one it kind of reminded me of, even though it came out way, way before, it's kind of like Oppenheimer, where it's like,
I haven't seen
are we
that
in the
one too.
beginning, or are we in the end, or are we in the middle? And then there's like a lot of like drama, and a lot of drama, a lot of more cinematics. Yeah, there was a lot of cinematics rather than actual, movie following, like the movie Nike. I don't know if you've seen it, about how Nike signed Michael Jordan.
Oh, I've seen that one. I've seen that one. I had to see that one because of the deal.
Of the deal?
Yeah.
What deal?
So the deal, the Jordan deal.
Oh, the Jordan deal.
Because that was the only thing. I mean, how it was negotiated. His mom. It's just.
I know his mom is a savage. His
mom
is a savage.
When you're confident that you have got the commodity, you have what they want, and that was the power. The power is for you to make the other person think you need them more, but she knew, and she dug in. It was beautiful. Yeah, I watched that one for the deal. The negotiation was just brilliant.
But yeah, his deal was what sparked,
it changed an
paved
entire
the way
industry
for everyone. Yeah,
it changed an entire industry. It's it's brilliant.
Honestly, yeah, it was a great movie. Very short. I wish they
Well,
showed a little bit more of Michael Jordan himself, and maybe they didn't get
now it
some
wasn't
sort of
about
rights
him.
to his face or something. They
Yeah, but I
couldn't
know it
afford
wasn't
him.
about him. It
Yeah, I
wasn't.
guess
It
it
was. I
wasn't.
think. Yeah, and that was why I enjoyed it. I think because I'm not a basketball fan and I don't have that.
Boo, boo.
Yeah, that emotional attachment to the sport,
Hmm.
but I understand a well negotiated deal, and that was it. That was it.
Shout
It
out to
was
all the moms
yeah.
of founders and athletes, people like Hakimi and who
Oh
again? Tom
yes,
Brady.
yes, yes. I mean, mom's out there crushing it.
Man, that Hakimi play like really opened doors for everybody.
I mean, do you think that was her plan or was it his?
I
Can't be
don't
his.
know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure
It's,
maybe it was his finance guy's plan, or
yeah, but
maybe, I mean, these football players, they
nobody,
join
no
young.
people have thought about it, but nobody has executed it as flawlessly as this.
This man was. He made everybody proud. Honestly, he made all the guys proud. It was
Oh man, ah,
it was a really good
brilliant.
night.
Oh, we've digressed too much away from
Oh yeah, from your
reflection
personal assistant.
of. Oh, actually, yes. Okay, so right before we go on the call, I received a message from Sam Hubley,
Hmm.
that he's just finished interviewing um, a potential um, new PA for the partners at Asteria, and
Hmm.
um, and his feedback was, yeah, um, she didn't. I tried to scare her, but she didn't. It didn't seem to phase her, and that's how we know that you're going to be a good fit, because we kind of tell you the brutal, honest truth, what it looks like. And it's funny because Sam was my PA before, so he knows the reality of what a shit show it is,
Hmm.
and I'm sure he would have really tried to scare her. And yeah, she was not phased. So that is uh, that is
So
a good sign.
what does a scare from Mr. Hubley himself look like?
So it's just so a lot of people work in a structured environment. So a lot of people need structure, and that's one thing I don't have.
Hmm.
And so anybody that works with me either needs to adapt to that or already be a similar way, and then it just flows. So it's very difficult for somebody that works with structure and certainty and processes to work. So I try to put processes in place for operations, but anything that comes out of that safe zone and comes into my chaotic lane, it can get very uh, chaotic. And that person's role is going to live in that lane.
Hmm.
So that's why we make it a point to really tell you what it's about. That way, there are no surprises.
Mm, I see. Well, I definitely need one of those PAs soon. But I've been putting it aside until maybe we get our own office, maybe in the next couple of months, because there are just so many. Actually, I need a PA who has his own or her own car. That would be the best. Literally doing runs,
Yeah, because that
yeah,
takes a lot.
filing things, and yeah, especially here in the US, it's too much. You gotta drive over there, drive over here, drop this paper here. So definitely somebody who knows how to drive would be a big benefit.
So, this would be the moment we discuss the books, but now that we're experimenting with a different approach to the whole podcast, let's leave it in the air for voting on whether we should keep the book section or not. So this poll is for the 2 or 3 people that actually listen to this. Let us know. Let us know if you want to keep the book section. What do you think?
Yeah, we can do that. Also, I think the way you kind of slid in your own book mid podcast was pretty slick.
Thank you
So
very
might
much.
not need to have a dedicated book section, and just have a way to slide that in there.
All right.
Build it around the conversation. But yeah, definitely today's podcast was more conversational than structured. You know what I was thinking of the other day? And I know we brought this up in the other podcast as well, was the benefit of like just having better friends, Like I was sitting the other day, I was like, man, and actually I was thinking about it, but then I was like, that's not a nice way to think. But then one of my business partners was like, and he's always so brutally honest, and he's like, dude, why you always like hanging around broke people, and unsuccessful people? Like go hang around with, at least if they're broke, let them not be poor, poor in the
So what's
mindset.
stopping you?
That's the thing. Like I was wondering what was stopping me. So I guess that's why we pulled the trigger on the tech village properly, and now we're hanging around with
To
at
widen
least,
your network.
yeah. And it's such a great place. Honestly, recommend. If you have something in your area the same, you should do it. It's a fantastic opportunity. We were literally just experimenting the other day with Sam Swift. We went in and we sat around. They have a game room filled with like free snacks and drinks and ping pong table and whatever. So we're like, okay, we'll just chill here, do some work, and already just by being there, somebody's like, hey, what startup are you guys working on? And and you exchange emails, and you find out they used to be in your industry as well, and things just happen, things
Yeah.
just happen. And I was actually looking at booking a conference room there. You know how you would book a room at your uni to like study with your friends? They have a
Yeah.
similar thing. You would book a room and do whatever it is. And the room I wanted to book was booked by um was his name? I think his name is Jack Silva. He's the CEO of Rainforest. Is a Stripes competitor. So they just
Really?
recently raised, I think, $20 million in Series A or something like that. So so many of these like people of different startup levels. You have people who just have an idea. You have people who are already in Series D, and you have people who have IPO'd already. So, and they're all just there chilling, having pizza and, talking about life and just doing stuff, and of course working, So we're like, okay, we need to be in that environment more
Yeah.
and socialize in there more as well, So yeah, from now on, uh, I'm sorry to say to all my broke, unambitious, or sorry, poor, unambitious friends, bye bye.
Well, so what Sani is trying to tell you guys is he will soon stop coming to the podcast.
Nah.
You know,
Thankfully, you're one of the most hardworking, ambitious, human beings. I think you and Adam are one of the most,
Literally, I was about to say you're just reciting Adam's attributes.
it's literally just that.
Yes. Yeah.
Adam is a naturally born entrepreneur.
Yeah. So yeah, at only 10 minutes over the planned time, I'm happy to call it. And I hope everybody is listening. And please do let us know what you think about the new approach.
Yes, sirs, ma'ams, and everybody.
All right.